but the passion for it is, when you got to do something for yourself in life, right? So we can live for everybody else. I could try to please my parents, please my sister, my wife. You got to do something that makes you happy and enjoy it. And one thing I enjoy is when I'm in that studio creating. It's like when you hooping on the stage that you hoop at, you know what I'm saying, the highest level where everything is everything. It's all on the table. That's that passion that keep going, and just telling those life stories where I know there's a kid somewhere that looks like me that need that somebody to look up to. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Do I
yeah,
have to be the most famous? No. I want to be the most impactful. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah.
care about the fame aspect of it. Whose life can I change? You know what I'm saying? I might stop somebody from walking off the edge because they heard one of my songs. So that keep me going.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Couch for Rob Fields. I'm your host, Rob Fields, and today we have a special one. All right, first of all,
Yeah.
we have a friend of the podcast on the show. We have arguably one of my favorite teammates on the show, and we have a just all around good guy on the show, which is a continuing theme. Ladies and gentlemen, give big hand claps to my dog, FreePour Donnie. What's up, bro?
What's up? What's up? What's up, man? Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, man. You've been in my corner with this show, especially since you have expertise on the music side of things. And I've been sending some audio files your way to help me troubleshoot and all kind of stuff. But you're here today, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time.
Hey, man. Got all the time you need, my guy.
All right. Well, let's hop into it, man. Let's hop into it. Usually when
All
I bring
right.
people on the show, I like to start from the beginning and get to where we are now. But I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna tell the folks how I met you. All right.
All
So
right.
if I'm
Yep.
lying, I'm flying. All right. You can call Cap if you will. You know, you can object. All right. So the first time that I met you was in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and playing city league basketball. And you are one age group older than me. And because I was killing in my age group, you know how we do. They took me up one year, and I got
Yeah.
to the practice, right, and I'm thinking everything's sweet. You and another Orangeburg legend in terms of basketball, Jay
Yeah.
Robinson, y'all joked on me so hard. It basically almost started my villain arc. You know, I was I was
Yeah.
I was definitely motivated to get more buckets because y'all hazed me up. But so am I lying or is it the truth?
Nah, that's pretty much how I remember it, man. City League was real big back then, so especially when you get moved up like that, you come in with high expectation, and then I don't know, it might have been that left-handed bond. All us left-handed, so like it just might have been that bond, because you know what I'm saying. Here we are today. Feel me?
Here we are
So
today. Yeah, you did your
yeah,
thing on the basketball court. Jade became a legend, and I just kind of figured it out. I held my own to some degree, but y'all killed it. But yeah, man, listen,
nah,
we can we could probably tell a lot of stories about basketball. We're gonna get into some of them. So tell me about picking up the ball for the first time. How did you fall in love with basketball?
um, legend has it from what my mom's told me. That's how I actually first learned to walk. Like they like most kids get the Fisher Price basketballs. They gave
Yeah,
me a full size basketball. As I'm trying to walk, I would stand up on the ball and the ball would roll, and that's how I got my foot in. And it's like the rope been on the string ever since, man. Like that's how I like picked up the ball, and then just playing with my cousins. I got a very athletic family, playing with my cousins and things like that. I'm the young 3, 4, 5 year old, however you have it, just trying to beat them, trying to get better. And then got introduced to that city league, you know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, I started a year early too. So um that's how it goes. It's that competitive nature, man. Like always wanting to be better. But that's how I started with the basketball. It helped me walk. They gave me a full size basketball, and that's how I learned my steps, and I never put it down.
Yeah, I mean, back
You know what I'm
on
saying? So,
our city is mainly known for football. You know, our city is known for
yeah,
football, and you know, we've had some really good basketball players come through, but on the outside, you know, a lot of people didn't know about the basketball part until our generation came in. So it was
yeah,
us and maybe, you know, that when we were freshmen, that senior group that we had, you
uh-huh,
know, well, yeah, my freshman year, though, our generation right there was really, we were tough. You know, we had some really good players at that time. So the fact that, you know, we kind of came up on the same trajectory was really cool. Let me ask you this, man. Like what were some of the
hmm
school did you dream of going to college? Was that something that was in your mind, or were you just playing for the love of it at that time?
um, like playing to get like a scholarship or whatnot.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but I was, but reality starts setting in a little bit. I'm gonna keep it public friendly. I ain't gonna out nobody, but you know how our high school careers was, as far as
Well,
things.
even before you get there, did
Oh,
you dream
you
of
wanna take it
going to
back?
you? Yeah, did you dream of going to
Oh yeah,
UNC
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
like?
man. I was
Yeah,
I was Tar Heel bound. You couldn't tell me I wasn't. I was Tar Heel bound.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Couldn't like
Yes.
coming up, cause you got to think, cause like when we came, like how we came up, bruh, playing ball, like we was nice. You know what I'm saying? Like over the years, you get different coaches and stuff change, but like if you had to look at a city league tape or middle school tape, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going D1. I mean, you just couldn't tell me I wasn't. It's,
Right.
I mean, yo, the left hand was lethal, man. Like it was crazy. So yeah, you couldn't tell me I was gonna be a Tar Heel, and I wanted to go to to be a Terrapin. I wanted to go to University of Maryland too. So I
Yeah.
got
How
some
did?
ties to Maryland, so huh?
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got some ties to Maryland. So I was in Maryland every summer. So just being around there, they had a decent basketball culture, and I just had like the state of Maryland too. So like
Hmm.
it was either gonna be, if you had to ask me that at that time, yeah, I'm gonna be a Tar Heel or I'm gonna be a Terrapin, one of the two.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
this is why I call you arguably my favorite teammate. It's and so the reason for that is because, man, you were a an encouraging teammate. So you would be the guy in my ear, like, "Come on, man, what are you doing? Like, kill him," you know, kind of in that way,
Yeah.
like really pumping me up. And you know, anytime that I would make a play, or it was just you were there, like really, like pushing me up, like, "Come on, man, you have more." You know, so
Yeah,
I
man.
really
Cause
appreciated that, man.
hey, most def, man. That's how you make people better. But that's my thought process on anything, man. Like especially at an early age, because we started playing in middle school, like real, like on the same team outside All Stars.
Yep.
Middle school, like bro, you had it, like you had it. So like I know what I can bring, and if we put it together, we win. We got championships together. So it paid off.
Yeah, and the
It
crazy thing
paid
is
off.
everyone wasn't encouraging in that way. You know, there were
Yeah,
just like anything, you know, there were some people who were a little envious, you know, because
yeah,
when you have a certain level of talent at a young age, to some degree you do cut the line a little bit. You know, coaches are,
hmm
you know, kind of bump you up. You don't have you trying out, but you only doing it to make everybody else feel good about
yeah.
it,
To
right?
make everybody else, to make it look normal.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
so there was a little bit of pushback, but it never came from you. And in a lot of situations, you would think it would be that because you know some guys are being threatened, their playing time might be going down, you know, whatever. But you know, you were always a person who encouraged me, man, and that was something. You know, I've played a lot of basketball over the years, but you're definitely one of the guys that stood out to be a great teammate. You know, beyond our friendship,
yeah,
because we were friends in, you know, many different aspects, right? Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's just the way to be, bro. Like, I ain't gonna ever try to hold nobody back. Since, like I said, since a young, I'm that type of person, man. Then we share a bond. We trying to achieve the same goal, and that's to win. So why I'm gonna hate on you, man? Like, I live by this thing. If you better than me, or if you got the one up, I can deal with that. My problem is when I feel you not better than me, and then you get in that shine. That's the thing I balance. I think real well in life. So yeah, and still today, I'm always gonna push you to do better, man. That's why we brothers.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
I definitely try to reciprocate that energy too, because that's just the only way. So let's go here in the conversation, man. I mean, I introduced you as a hip hop artist, as a
Mhm.
to some degree, you produce, I mean, you do a lot of different things in music. But what was that moment in music? So I asked you about basketball when you fell in love with it.
Yeah.
But what about music? What was that first? What's your first music memory? Can you remember back that
Man,
far?
that's going down a rabbit hole. So my first music memory, I got two that really stand out. My first concert was an MC Hammer concert, right? My pops took me to an MC Hammer concert.
What?
And you know, if you know Hammer, Hammer's a performer with the dancing and everything. And I'm like, yo, like, this is where it's at. You know, I'm still young at the time, but I'm like, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
And then like most of us in black families, we spend a lot of time at our grandparents' house. So at the time, my uncle was living with my grandparents and he had this record player. So, Saturdays is a song, I can't think of the song right there. What's the name of the song? When I say freeze, you just freeze one time. When I say freeze, y'all stop on the dot. Like,
DJ
I can't think of
Quick, not Quick, not DJ
no, it's
Quick.
not no, it's not DJ Quick.
Let me clear my throat.
Yeah, the song is "Let Me Clear My Throat." I was trying to think of
Yeah.
the artist name, but anyway, every Saturday, bro, we'd put that on, and like the way the house was set up, he'll put his window up, so that music will be
DJ Cool.
playing, and then
Sorry to cut you off.
DJ Cool, there
Yeah.
you go, DJ Cool. So he'll put his window up, and he had them big, remember them old time speakers that was like real big,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm talking about music just be playing outside in the yard or throughout the house, and that's when I really fell in love with music, and then it's a big age gap in my family too with me and my older cousins. One of my cousins, Shelby, she was at state when I was a kid, so she kind of like helped raise me. She put me on all different types of music. Like till this day, Warren G Regulate is like one of my favorite songs of all time. It's just something about it.
Regulators.
So
Mount up.
mount up. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes to the music, man, it's like a lot of different influences, but definitely the Hammer concert with my dad, that opened the entertainment side. If you ever see me on stage, like that opened it up. Then with my uncle and then also with my cousin, exposed me to that different music at a young age, especially when I probably wasn't supposed to be listening to it,
Ooh.
because, yeah, that's that. You got to think, man, Regulators, that came out in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I was born in 87, so I'm like 7, 8 years old, give or take. So, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
my first album was Doggy Style. Like my dad, like the unedited version of Doggy Style. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a kid with this Doggy Style album, and he going in the dog. It's like, come on, man. What kid is exposed to that at that age? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what really opened that door up for music, man. For me.
So what was that time that you decided to make it real and do it yourself? Like how did that
Um,
materialize?
Once I realized I could freestyle, like and I was like, all right, this could be dope. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom always say, don't put your eggs in one basket. So I was like, well, I got basketball, but then if I could do music too, I mean, that'd be a plus. And this is before it got popular, because I had like a studio in high school. Everybody's recording at my house. But for your question, what really opened my eyes is an artist from Orangeburg named Ken Fluid. I don't know if you remember Ken
I
Fluid,
remember
but
Ken Floyd. He was all over the place.
dog, Fluid had a pen game out this world. And I was like, yo, I can make songs like that because it was relatable. Like he wasn't over the top trying to be gangster. He had the wittiness, like whole, like he just. And I was like, and then we'd be at them trash cans at OW, and that's when the trash cans, the freestyle ciphers, it was like, all right, yeah, I like this. I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this. And a few years later, hey, well, not a few years, but here we are.
Yeah,
I
right.
got some accomplishments under the belt.
Right. I mean, so back during that time, 2-on-2 basketball was a big deal in Orangeburg. So if you had a basketball
Mm-hmm.
goal and you had some guys like you would have people at the house all the time, all day long, playing 2-on-2
Yeah,
basketball outside. You couldn't go in people's house like that because
sure couldn't. Nah, everybody
mamas,
stay outside.
yeah, mamas didn't want all them guys stinking up the house and stuff. But we
Mm-hmm.
would play a lot of basketball, and simultaneously, you you said you got the Doggy Style album early. Like your music collection was massive, and
Yeah.
I think I've told you this before. Like my mom didn't let me buy music with cursing in it
That's-
until I got my driver's license, pretty much. Like, because at that time it was just like, all right, do what you got to do. So I used to get
yeah.
a lot of my music from you. And this is when I knew we were friends. This is when I knew we were good friends. Jay-Z's Blueprint album dropped, and you let me hold
Yep.
that CD for like 3 weeks. And you didn't even bug me. You didn't really like give me issues. You was just like, hey man, just take it. And you let me hold
Yeah,
that
man. I mean,
Blueprint.
I had a
That's
plethora
when
of
I knew
music
we
to
were
listen
really
to, man.
friends.
yeah. Yeah, man. I had a lot of music to listen to, man. Like I had like some people might have one CD book. Man, I had like CD books, man. Like I mean, even from like a kid, like my mom had all these CD books I go through. So I'm listening. I mean, I had Jay-Z, but I still listen. I was listening to Patti LaBelle, Luther Vandross. Like I listen to everything. So I mean, hey, you want a whole blueprint? You can get it. I ain't gonna miss it until I
Yeah,
need it for some motivation. But man,
yeah.
yeah.
I did
So
give it back because I didn't want to keep that, and then my music uh access gets cut off. But no, I remember those times, man. And
I,
you're a year older than me, so you got your driver's license before me. And I mean, just those rides
yeah,
in the car, man. Riding around Orangeburg, you taking me home for practice, all that type of stuff, and we just listening to
yeah. That
music. And you let me hold the aux, which meant you let me go through the
yeah,
CD book and put the CD in.
yeah. Put the CD in.
That
Yup.
was that was past the aux back then. Find a CD
You remember?
and play
You
it.
remember that time? I don't know. We cut school or cut practice, and we went to Sam Goody to get that Cassidy CD one morning.
Yes,
And I I don't know which Cassidy CD it was, but it
probably
had to
I'm a
be maybe his
hustler
first one. I think so. But yeah,
because
we
everyone
man, see,
wanted
I
that
was into
one.
that music, bro. Yeah, I was into that music. Like if I wanted it, I'm going to get that one way or the other, man. Practice, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Shoot up the street right quick, get that CD, and I'll be back at practice. Or I don't know if it was practice or school, but I know you was with me that day and we went to get it though. So
yeah, yeah. It
but
was
you know what I'm saying? That's
probably
how it is, man.
before we went to practice because I didn't cut school. Remember?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't cut school either. I didn't cut school either.
uh, so all right, so we're gonna fast forward a little bit with the music stuff, man. Obviously you had a starting point, and now
Yeah.
you've released a number of different projects. Just tell me about your passion to stick with it, because you could have said in the beginning stages when things weren't so fun and things were a lot more difficult in terms of production and finding places to record and stuff back then, you could have said, man, I'm done with this. Tell me
Yeah.
about what made you stick with it and just continue to give it all you got and continue to also just grow and develop as an artist.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm self-made. I'm gonna always stay true to that. So the hurdles and obstacles most had, I didn't have because like I had a studio in my house when I was what 14 maybe. Like I had everybody at my house recording. Like the worst I can say the worst individuals, but like I mean,
People from
I
all
always
walks of
had my
life.
own. There we go, from all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? like from high school on up to college, I always had my own setup. I always recorded. I just had everything accessible. But the passion for it is, when you got to do something for yourself in life, right? So we can live for everybody else. I could try to please my parents, please my sister, my wife. You got to do something that makes you happy and enjoy it. And one thing I enjoy is when I'm in that studio creating. It's like when you hooping on the stage that you hoop at. You know what I'm saying? The highest level where everything is everything. It's all on the table. That's that passion that keep going and just telling those life stories where I know there's a kid somewhere that looks like me that need that somebody to look up to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do I
Yeah.
have to be the most famous? No. I want to be the most impactful. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
care about the fame aspect of it. Whose life can I change? You know what I'm saying? I might stop somebody from walking off the edge because they heard one of my songs. So that keep me going. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I got an aunt. I think my aunt, she probably like 80 years old or close to 80, maybe 75. And she still listens to my CDs. So not on no you my nephew type. It's like she actually likes the music. Like she listens to it. She tell me don't give it to her with the edit. So it's kind of like if I can do that and I can get an ear in that age group, I can still do it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that passion, that's where it come from. Just impacting somebody's life. Like I said, it's never about the fame, but impacting their life is dope. Like when you get that feedback, bro. I listened to one of your songs and it really gave me a different perspective, and I'm like, that's what's up, man. That's why I make music. That's why I continue to do that.
Man, that's really why I wanted to ask you that question, because it takes a lot to stay disciplined. It takes a lot to
Yeah.
continue to learn. It takes a lot to follow your passion, even when, I don't know, people are throwing money at a situation. I kind of approach the podcast in the same way. So we're not a massive platform at the moment, but if I can get one person to give me a light or to listen to what we have going on, I feel like I've accomplished
Hmm.
something. So maybe it's not the macro goal, but my micro goal starts with one person, one ear. That's it. So the fact that you're sticking with it, man, first of all, of course, like we're around the same age, but I'm proud of you in that way, that you
Appreciate it.
didn't give up and you continue to grow as an artist. Like you didn't stay in the battle rap days when y'all were beefing in high school. Y'all throwing diss
That wasn't a
tracks.
battle, but you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
throw,
That wasn't even a battle, man. He just
yeah,
got that work, man.
yeah,
He started it though. See, when they
throwing
when they
diss
bring that
tracks back
story
and
up,
forth.
they they got to tell the truth. He started it.
Oh my
He wasn't in
goodness.
my weight class, but he wanted to, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to get brought into this in the circle. So yeah, flamed him quick.
Funny story. I'm on a recording, probably, yeah, destroyed uh some time back. I've been in a well, a bathroom booth before, not with you, but I'm
Okay.
on someone's track. I've been on wax before. Not really wax, but
Word.
them burnt CDs. But
I got you.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Dang, he
Yeah.
brought up a battle from high school, man.
A
Dang.
battle from
You know what
high
I'm
school,
saying?
man. But so I
Yeah.
want to go into this, man, and I think this is important. So you talked about your influences in music. You talked about your influences in basketball. You talked about having resources even at a young age, like a studio inside your home where you could record. And this is before people are recording on an iPhone. Like this
Mhm.
is before that time, right? So tell me about the impact that your family has on you chasing your dreams and being able to fulfill this hunger inside of your belly to go after that passion. Tell me about the influence on
Um,
your family has on who you are and what you do right now.
yeah, so like my parents, they just like they supported what I did for the most part. Most parents they want you to go to college, get a job, all that stuff. But at that time, I'm looking at life like, man, listen, I might try this college thing, but we'll see. but they always remain supportive. But I think more than that, I try to be a real model. I don't like using that word role model because I don't play a role. I like the word real model for my little cousins and my little sister. So like when it comes to family, I'm that stand up guy that they can always go to. And if I keep that in my mind, I fly straight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people coming from where we from, not fortunate enough to be in the situations that we in. You know, I never been in trouble. I never been locked up because I'm thinking like, well, if I get jammed up, what my little sister gonna say or what my cousin gonna think about me? So it just deter me from certain situations. So if I'm always thinking like that, I'm gonna stay straight and narrow for the most part. I'm gonna stay straight and
Yeah.
narrow and you just think about that what if. And I'm not gonna be like, dang, I shouldn't have did this. I'm a thinker, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Libra. I gotta balance scales. I'm like, yeah, that ain't me. And the biggest thing my family taught me, never be a follower. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in even in my family, they'll be like, Donnie rude or Donnie this, but I'm me. I don't have to ask nobody for nothing. So I think I can be me and I don't have to regret it because you can't say you did something for me. Other
Mm.
than my parents and a few aunts and uncles, yeah, I'll leave that. But
Mhm.
I'm always like that. So with that in mind, that when the family aspect come, it's just what is the overall perception gonna be? Do I care about perception? No, but yes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
mean
try to be something I'm not. I'm gonna just be me.
yeah, and I mean you also want to project good energy out in the world, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you feel internally when you have that community, which is what I'm going to go into. You have that community around you. You want to be a good representation of your own family tree, because
Yeah.
for us, when we think of community, like it's just a bunch of trees in the same area, right? And this
Hmm.
represents our families, and our families have our own tree. You don't want to be the tree out there with weeds all over the place. You want to make sure that your house is in order. And what happened
Yeah.
in Orangeburg when we came up, all of our parents were in the same community in this on the same hotline, on the
Facts.
same hotline.
Facts.
So my mom and your mom was locked tight. Nick or Sax, we all had the same community network working for us, not against us, working for us. So
Of
at any
course. Yeah.
time, if we got caught going left, there was always some correction along the way to help us get back on track. Now, did we have free will to make that decision to say, all right, I'm gonna do the right thing or I'm not? Absolutely, because there's some guys who were in our community, in our tight knit community, who decided to go and do other stuff, which is that was
Hmm.
the free will part, right? But for most
Yeah.
of us who have stayed together along this time, we kept it together, and we made our parents proud, and we made our community proud, which is something
Yeah.
that it goes to what you're saying. Do we care about the perception about how we carry ourselves or XYZ? Not really, but I'm going to be a great representation of my parents and my family, and I'm going to make them proud in whatever way that I have to
Hmm.
do it. Yeah, so I get it, man. But I
And just to add on to that too, I'm gonna let you, my bad. I didn't mean
no,
to
no,
cut you
no.
off,
Go
but
ahead, go ahead.
to add on to that, that community is where we at today because that same, that's I mean we do our thing, but that same core like still there. Like I still talk to Sax, still talk to Nick. They grew up, they lived in my neighborhood. So
Yeah,
you came over, add you to the mix. You know what I'm saying? That whole little community. I know I'm leaving some names out right now,
yeah. You don't
but
have to go through
and
everybody. It's a bunch of us.
yeah, but I think that shows today because we never left. Like we pick up where we left off, no matter how long we talk. Like we can all pull up on each other, woot the woot, and everything's a go. So it's like, dang, somebody that went through the same thing I went through, those same struggles, because we all around the same age. Oh, they made it too. So I think that's dope in our adult lives. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very dope.
Yeah, and I mean, also, to reference to where we are now as adults, I feel like, an example, your parents and my parents, and because we had so many households with mom
Mm-hmm.
and dad, or like really strong mom or really strong dad, because we had those representations around us all over, I feel like that was great for where we are now, in terms of
Yeah.
you're a married man, I'm married. You know, we have guys in long-term relationships. We have guys who really value that 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 that
Yep. That family aspect,
union.
man.
Yeah, that union. We
Mm-hmm.
all value that in one way or another. And I feel like
Yeah.
that community that we grew up in, it made it so we could want for something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it was just so important, man. And I'm only bringing this up because nowadays, man, like if you look online or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, people are really against marriage.
Yeah.
And I get it, you know, to some degree. You know, it's a business. It is. It's a partnership. You
It
know,
is. Yeah.
so I understand that part of it, but I'm just like, man, like, are, are people really afraid to get into this union?
I
Or
think it goes back. It goes back to the examples being set, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my parents been married. Let me see. My parents just hit their 39th anniversary. You feel me? So it's kind of like when you around things like that, it's kind of instilled in you without you knowing it. It's kind of like I mean that's all you know.
it can work
Now for people that don't want,
essentially.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. And marriage hard work, man. I'll be honest. Some people just ain't. Some people don't want to put that work in. Marriage that's a job in itself. Like just
Yeah,
you got another person that you're responsible for, especially being a man in the house. You're responsible for a lot more than just your marriage. You got everything around it because at the end of the day, it all falls on you. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like with you, you got my niece and nephew over there, so everything is on you. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want that aspect, bro. Like I like the challenge. Marriage is a challenge that I accept it because I'm like, I know it's hard work. I can do that. And then it just, I don't know, it just gives you that closure sometimes. For me, I can only speak for myself. It gives you that closure. Like that was one of the best decisions I made to get married. Like, I mean, hey,
yeah.
I saw my personal growth.
Mhm.
I saw my business growth. Just my maturity level. I was mature beyond my years when I was younger, but now, man, my thought process is due to me getting married. You got to look at life differently because it's not just you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and to just add on to your point, man, like that's why they call it a union. That's why they call it a partnership,
mhm.
because it's two people coming together to be one. That's just it. And you know, when you throw
Yeah.
kids into the mix, that's that just adds to the pot. And what you said was important, you know, because we're talking about marriage and we're talking about relationships to some degree. You have to work at this, man. You have to cultivate
Yes,
this thing,
sir.
man. You can't just
Hmm.
go through the honeymoon phase and get married and have this big massive party and everyone's happy for you. And when real life starts, you know, after the honeymoon phase is over, you don't want to work at it now. You have to be
Yeah.
patient. You have to be considerate. You have to sacrifice. You have to understand space. You know, when
Yeah.
you dating, right? Like back once upon a time, you all up under each other. You know, you all happy with each other. You want to go everywhere. But when it's marriage time comes now, and you working and you going through the day to
Yeah.
day, you get a flat tire over here, and the belt on the lawnmower breaks, or you
There
know
you go.
any number of things that pop up. Do you still want to be all up under me? Nope. Will we argue?
Nope.
Do we still want to be all up under each other? Nope. But at the end of
Nope.
the day, because you have that partnership, you have to communicate better with each other.
Hmm.
You have to allow people to just be. You gotta let people be, man. And then in
Yeah.
that process, as you're building yourselves up and just trying to make sure that you're a whole component to this piece, it's gonna be some rough times, man. It's
Oh,
gonna be some rough
best
times.
believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some rough ones, but Just gotta stay positive. Put that and like put that energy out and just keep it. My bag. You know, I got these animals in here started moving around.
I
Um,
hope that's not the snake.
um, yeah, yeah. My big baby, she started moving, so I was like, this ain't time for her to start moving around yet. But
yeah,
man, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. Don't even worry
yeah,
about it no more.
yeah. It's all good. But yeah, man. So we, we started talking about, just we started talking about families. But I mean, we going into the marriage aspect, man. But yeah, I just wanted to bring
Yeah,
that up because I think it's important that people understand that, I don't think we should look at marriage as the big boogeyman that's gonna come and ruin your life, especially if you're coming into this partnership with the right mindset. So I like to think of marriage as being two whole parts coming together to make
yeah,
one, not two broken
yeah.
parts coming together to be one big broken mess. Yeah.
I
So
ain't gonna leave. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I look at stuff around me. Marriage brought me peace. Cause I be like, even I talk to some of my homeboys, and I be like, man, y'all still running around here doing X, Y, and Z? Y'all be stressed out. I be home peaceful, watching a series on TV, or I got my vices. I be chilling. Like,
yeah,
man, can
yeah.
you believe such and such did? I was like, nope, I ain't got that problem, man. I'm home with my wife. Like, I'm
Home,
chilling. Like,
home. I am chilling.
I'm chilling. I'm
Yeah.
chilling.
Shout out to all my
Yeah,
single men
man.
and women. I am not envious of you guys. And I pray my
Nah,
wife don't throw me back to them streets, man, because
it's a rough time in those streets now, boy.
yeah, man,
It's a rough time in those streets now. Like,
it's a
may the
lot of
force be
mess
with
going
you.
on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
gonna pray
man.
for y'all, and
It's
I'm
dangerous out there.
yeah. So listen, man, we brought up some topics. We gotten a lot done in a small amount of time, man. I want to go into this, man, and this is something that I'm also proud of you for doing. So you've been living that you live that rapper lifestyle for a long time in your life, traveling on the road,
Yeah,
eating
man.
like crap, not really sleeping,
Yeah.
a number of other things, which
Number of them.
I ain't gonna put you on blast.
Nah,
But
man. Hey, man. It's in the music.
during that period in your process, you didn't look like young spry Donnie. You didn't look like like you were ripped, during your prime playing days. So over the time
Yeah,
you
I
grew
was.
up a bit, and then you made a decision to change your life.
Yeah.
Why did you make that decision? And we'll go in, yeah, we'll go into how. But why did you make that decision to change your life and to start to live a little bit, try to live a healthier lifestyle?
Um, so really, bro, it's just in my family, my genes are long. Like, you feel me? Like, I just lost an aunt. She was 99. Her 100th birthday was gonna be in July. My granddad right now is 92. My great grandma, she lived to be like 90 something. So like, I'm like, dang, if I take care of myself, I can get the way they at, or just live a better lifestyle overall. And then on the other side of it, in the present, outside of just wanting to live, bro, I could feel my breathing different. When I was on stage, I was getting winded. I used to do this thing, and my wife used to clown me. When I held my phone, I sit it on my stomach. So you got to think how big,
Jesus.
like, yeah, bro. Like I can't do it now. Proud of me. But
Yeah.
she was like, "Why
Yeah.
you hold your phone on your stomach like that?" And I didn't realize I was doing it. So when COVID happened, no more shows. Like when COVID first kicked off, we did our last show in Sumter. They shut everything down. I was bored, bruh. So it started with just riding a bike. Me and one of my partners, we got our bikes and we just ride around Columbia or whatnot. And then I was like, all right, I'm getting back active. This feels good. So then I started running every day. For like 2 months, I ran every day 5 miles. You know what I'm saying? Well, ran,
with
walk,
with
you know what I'm saying? Depends on the day.
yeah, with the weight on you?
Yeah, with the weight, bro. and I still smoke my cigars. I'm still drinking and doing everything, but just being more active, you feel your body starting to change where you can do all those other things and they don't affect you as much. So once I started feeling better and get my breath better, I'm like, oh, I like this here. So I recorded a project. Not it wasn't a full project, but I recorded some songs during that time period. And somebody was like, matter of fact, I think it was you. He was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, bro, I hear you breathing different on the songs," and I think that
Yeah,
was you. I can't remember
yeah,
right
that
now.
was me.
That was you.
That
Okay,
was
yeah.
me. Yeah,
So when I get that type of feedback, so what I'm doing is right, and I got to keep doing it, eating better, eating healthy, um, fasting every now and again. Like it just make you feel better as a person. Your mind is clear, your clothes fit better. Like it was at one point in time, bro. I go outside, and if the wind blew, because I had such a stomach, if the wind blew, the draft went under my shirt. I felt like not embarrassed, but it was like sloppy because I'm an athlete. You know what I'm saying? I felt like,
yeah,
you saw it when you came home one of them summers and we went to that court, bro. I was winded, and I was like, bro, not gonna come back again, and I'm not gonna be this winded on this court. Which I do want my rematch. I just put that out there for the world to know.
yeah.
But
You were holding on for dear
yeah,
life,
but
boy. That was before you got into your health
yeah,
bag, man. So yeah,
yeah.
and I,
So
and I saw
like,
I saw it on you that day. But I continue. Yeah, go ahead, man. Continue.
yeah. So but other than that, man, that just a healthy journey. And then once again, it's a challenge. It's a what discipline do you have in life? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you getting healthy, but that helps other disciplines. Like whether you get up and go to the gym, or whether you save up enough to buy a treadmill for the house. Cause I bought a treadmill for the house for when I couldn't run outside. So like, when you run every day and it rained, your body feels like trash because you didn't get that workout in. Boom. Bought a treadmill for the house. If you ever bought a treadmill, they're not cheap. So, well, not the one I got. So,
Yeah,
that's where that discipline come in at the all right, it's raining outside. I still gotta get this workout in. I
yeah,
bought a whole weight set with the dumbbells and stuff. So like that health journey, that's one of my biggest accomplishments, man. Aside from anything, just getting back healthy. And then when you get that, when I ain't gonna lie, when you walk out and like somebody hadn't seen you, like my family saw me the first time after COVID, cause like me and my wife, we shut it down for COVID, man. So when they
right,
seen me,
right.
they was like, bro, what you on? And I was like, what you talking about? It's like, bro, you lost a bunch of weight. And I was like, you see yourself every day. So you see it, but you don't see it. But when them clothes start feeling different, like give yourself a pat on the back, man. So, and I'm still in it to this day. I lost 60 pounds during COVID, bro.
Yeah,
60.
and I was about to ask you what was your max.
Yeah, I lost 60. I gained 20 back, but I lost 60 when I was in it.
60 pounds. That's not easy. And see,
60 pounds.
the thing about that COVID time is a lot of people went in the other direction, right?
Yeah.
So because they
Mm-hmm.
were sitting, they starting to order bottles of liquor to the house. They ordering all their favorite takeout. They don't want to go grocery shopping. You eating a lot more. You're not driving to work. All of this type of stuff. So people going in the opposite direction. But for you, you went and lost weight, which is something that
Yeah.
takes. I'm telling you, man, it takes a ton of discipline. I wanted to bring that up because I feel that it's important that people understand that there is something in all of us that will help us move towards self improvement. So
Yeah.
it's not an easy process, but there was something inside of you that said, "All right, I'm going to commit myself to this moment." And I wanted to go. We talked about that time when you worked out with me. We played
Mm-hmm.
1-on-1 and all of that stuff, and you were still in your heavy stage. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, during that time that we were playing, after we finished playing, we were joking and stuff. But I saw something in your eyes where you were almost like shameful, like, dang,
Yeah.
man, like I'm fat. Like you,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
saw it in your
'cause-
eyes, like you were just. I didn't know that you were gonna make that big jump and commit to that,
yeah.
but I saw it in
Yeah.
that day. You had something inside of you that acknowledged the fact that you were different than
Yeah. I think that go
what you
back to my
were.
love for hooping though, bro. Like I love hooping. Like And like I hooped the other day for the first time since I don't know when, and I felt great out there, bro. So like that time we hooped, I couldn't do what I wanted to do on the court because I was tired.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you're tired, you can't shoot. One aspect of my game was always my handles, but when you're tired, that crossover don't snap like it's supposed to. So now it's a different story. So yeah, that day was eye opening, man. And then I'm ultra competitive too. Like I mean, respectfully, I don't
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
that you're a professional athlete. I still want to beat you. So
Former.
you know what I'm saying? So, I'm a competitive, and I just knew that day, yeah, that it wasn't gonna go down that day. Cause I mean, you was in shape. Man, I was sloppy out here, man.
Yeah.
Sloppy,
I'm a
sloppy.
former athlete. That's past tense now.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, but no, man. Like I said, man, I wanted to bring that on the show, man, because I feel like that's something that should be highlighted. I mean, of course, we could talk about your music all day. We could talk about your ability
Yeah,
to, just be behind the scenes in terms of music and everything. But I feel like this is one of your greatest accomplishments. And also, this
yeah,
will provide you with some longevity, just going forward. Because they
it will.
always say if
Yeah,
you take care of yourself in the now, later on you won't have so many troubles. At least that's what we hope for, right? So now,
yeah,
man, I'm proud of the work that you did on improving yourself, man, and also trying to encourage other people on the way. So yeah, man, just keep doing it, man. Keep going at it.
appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Will do. Will
So
do.
listen,
So
man. I told you I didn't want to keep you all day. So tell me what's next for FreePour Donnie, and I mean you can also talk about some of your previous projects as well, man, because you definitely have some heat out there that the people need to catch on to.
yeah, I'm starting back my traveling real heavy now, so I can bring these stories to life and paint a picture. So Um, I don't have a project. I got songs recorded. We all got songs recorded. Actually, they just need to get mixed and mastered, honestly. But I'm working on another full length. I did a few EPs, but I like them full length projects. Them 12 to 14. Maybe I'm gonna just keep it at 12. But to
Yeah,
tell that story, I'm just trying to put it together to see how I wanted to put it together, what I wanted to be like sonically. Um, I think I'm gonna get back in I call it my Orangeburg bag a little bit when if you remember me, I'm a big Ti fan. Like I'm a big Ti fan. So I
yeah,
think I'm gonna go back and reach in them that bags when he was with Toomp and them 808s kicking and stuff like that and really like get to it. Put
yeah,
that Orangeburg lingo in there. Other than that, and just start back doing shows, man. I ain't gonna lie, I took a break. If you know or follow, well, I know you follow, but
yeah,
I do run a label. So once again, what you said, seeing the best in somebody else, like my cousin, he the front man. So like I pushed that MMR. We got him up to, I think we up to by I think 9 million streams, all together.
yeah,
So like, that's a big accomplishment in itself, being an independent with our own money behind us. So um from a behind the scenes aspect, got his project dropping. Me, I'm still pushing the old tapes. I'm actually going to San Diego Memorial Day weekend. I think that's your birthday weekend. Yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Around that time. Yeah. So I'm gonna be in San Diego out there. I'm gonna shoot some videos and I'm about to start uploading some content, man. I got some stuff. It's just the way my mind works. I don't write this stuff down. So when it come to me, it come to me. Like I visited LA and we went up the I think it's called the Pacific Coast Highway, or I think that if you're from LA or if you're from Cali, they
the
call it the Five
PCH.
or whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah, the PCH. Yeah, and that opened my mind. Like I wrote songs when I was out there, just riding up there. It wasn't nothing to see because I went through. It's called Topanga State Park,
yeah,
and I rode through there, and like man, just seeing the mountains and the mountains look different in Cali, like on the West Coast than they look on the East Coast. Like it's
yeah,
just what I'm saying. So back to the traveling. I'm going back out there. I didn't like it the first day, but I kind of got into it like, all right, this Cali lifestyle not bad. So if I get my wife to move out there, I think that'd be dope. But I know she ain't leaving the East. Um, but other than that, man, I'm just chilling. making sure my little cousin straight. I got my studio set up, which I'm in right now. So it's a lot of ideas being thrown out there,
Yeah.
projects being put together. So
Yeah.
just
So
stay.
be
You're gonna get it before everybody. So
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Go send it my way, player. Send it my way.
yeah, and I
But let
appreciate that too because I be sending you tracks and you get that feedback. So I appreciate that also, bro.
yeah, and I try to be honest with
Yeah,
you because
I
a lot
hope
of
you
a lot
would.
of creatives, right? A lot of creatives, especially when they get to a certain level, when they run it by people, then everyone's like, "Oh man, this is great." When in theory, maybe it's not. So when you come to
Yeah,
me, I'll try to give it to you as raw as I possibly can without trying to crap on your work. Because I mean, I always like to give people credit. You When you take something from out of your brain and you put it towards something tangible and actually make it real, that's a feat in
yeah,
itself. Now, when you start to talk about the details, that's just a part of it, right? So usually when we're
yeah,
talking, I'm always going to give you credit for doing the work and actually getting stuff done. But if you want to talk about details, we could definitely go into details because I want you to make the best music possible, right? And
yeah. That's what I plan on
yeah,
doing. So that feedback is always appreciated, man.
yeah. Let me ask
So
you this, bro. So tell me about and just quickly, man. Tell me about going from being a person who represents yourself to now running a record label. And of course, you could talk about Mister. You could talk about your cousin and a lot of the accolades that he's made, and just him kind of going from the ground up. You could always talk about that, but just talk about how you made that adjustment to say, all right, I'll do my own projects, but the priority is this or him or her.
you
Tell me about
gotta you gotta go. I mean, you got the money made record. You go where the money at. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
When them checks coming in from shows, you go with your bread and butter. But it's a selfless act. I think that's yeah. So like it's just wanting the next man to do good when you good at something. Like my cousin, like outside of him being my cousin, he's a great artist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Some folks say he too trapped out. Other folks say, it's not their style. But when you listen to it and like you listen to some of the stuff he say, and he don't write, which I don't write either. Like them bars, like they stick. I call him and I be like, you must have been thinking about me when you wrote this line, because that's something like I would have said or in that context. But going from being on that stage, that front man, to that behind the scenes, it's kind of like being a point guard in a sense, man, because you gotta manage everything on that court. So back to basketball, that's just a reference where you just looking at the whole court and you seeing it and just putting the thing together, make sure all the right pieces in the right place, like running plays out here. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
that executive lifestyle fun, man. And then it's always that what also is good about that, you get that pat on the back, like, hey bro, we know your face not out there like that, but we know behind the scenes what's going on. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I
man.
walk in places and they recognize it. So that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I don't look for the recognition, but it's dope to see it when somebody, even when I got my chain on, they be like, yo, I thought that was you. And like that happened the other day in the shoe store. So,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that, man. I
yeah,
impacted somebody's life. No matter how big, how small, I was an impact.
yeah, and I mean, of course, I'm bigging you up, but also shout out to hip hop rap artist Mister, your family, and shout out to you guys staying together because
Yeah,
a lot of times, man, when people in any industry, when people go from kind of the bottom up and they get to the top, a lot of people fall off for whatever reason, spatting over
yeah,
money, spatting over women, or whatever. It could be a number of things, right? But through it all, you guys managed to stay together. You're still really family. Y'all are still really tight. And
yeah, man.
kudos to y'all for kudos to you two for being able to keep it together and also just continue to build and continue to grind it out, in terms of the music and the business, so congrats to y'all, man. But
That matter when you at the bottom with somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a
yeah,
little different. So with that bond. Like we was always tight. Quick story. Mister, he recorded his first song in my house, or second song. Regardless, remember I told you I had the studio back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep. Either his first song or second song, he recorded in my house, and well, you know,
The rest is
a few
history.
million later, we got them streams up. Yeah, man. Like so,
Yeah.
that's how life manifests. And we took a break. Like he went his way, I went my way. I went to college. He was doing whatever, and we met back one day. And man, he was like, "Hey, we gonna run this label together. I said, let's do it, bro."
Nice.
And that's when we were broke. Not in the sense of broke. Well, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, it was tough back
then. broke. Not broke.
Broke. Yeah,
But
it was broke. Yeah, man. Yeah, broke. But it paid off, man. We stayed in it, and you know what I'm saying? The money made now.
Hello. Yeah.
Yep.
Listen. Yeah. So listen, man. Like I said, man. Listen, I'm proud of you. I had to have you on the platform, and the beautiful thing about me doing this in the way that I'm doing it is, I'm not only I did it for me, but I felt like I was giving this information on how to process and how to build this show, so I could give people like you another platform to do your thing. So if at any time you releasing something and you want some extra people to get a hold of it, send it my way, man. Come on back on the show, bro. You know, because
I got a better idea. I'm gonna do a press run in Copenhagen next year. So
well,
yeah,
how about that?
we can,
Listen, you said it on the show now, so we got to hold you to it. I said the same thing to Nick.
Hey, that you know what? And that goes back to that motivation, bro. Because I've been putting this trip off for a while.
Yeah, I've been in Europe for 13 years.
Hey, man, don't rub it in. Like, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, long as my phone always on, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
What he said, I think you asked him if somebody wants to travel, what they should go ahead and do. And he was like, just go ahead and book it. And when he was like, I mean, the price to come over here is the same like to fly to LA. When I thought about it, dog, I mean, it was right. Like, I never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
You know, I go to LA, New York, so it's just the time changing. I'm 15 hours or whatever it is, but I'll be all right.
It ain't that long.
It ain't, all right, we'll see.
It ain't 15.
But so I'm gonna load up, and once I get everything finished, I'm gonna come out there, do some press out there, so to be.
Man, I tell, and I've said this to you. Once you do it one time, it's a game changer. Once you do it once, it's a game changer, and it seems like everything else becomes easier. That's how I say it in regards to traveling. But yeah, man. Listen, thank you for being on the show, bro. Thank you for giving me your time. And man, share your socials so that people can know where to follow you and where they can get your stuff. Yeah.
All my socials is FreePour Donnie. All right. So any young aspiring artists, creators, whatever you may be, when it comes to your social media platform, just have one. Mine is FreePour Donnie everywhere. You ain't gotta no underscores, no hyphen, nut. FreePour Donnie.
There you
know
go.
What I'm saying? So y'all can find me there. Follow, shout out. I'm interactive. I'll holler back. You want to do features? Get them to me. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it happen. And appreciate being on the couch, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We're gonna have to get you on a in studio episode. Because they're on MIDI.
We're going to make it happen.
They're on MIDI, but we got to get you on the in-studio. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, you have just watched the episode with myself and my good friend, FreePour Donnie. Go check out his music. Go check out his visuals. He's really putting a lot of work and effort and skill into his music. Like I said, when you hear this music playing in the background, right? Yeah, man, he hooked your boy up. You know, so he's a big part of the show, and he's being represented on every episode. You know, so it's important. Yeah, you guys just listen to that episode.
Just to be fair, shout out to my boy Jay Sheen because he actually made the music. But You know what I'm saying?
You were the
It was a
middleman.
phone call. Yeah, it came through me. So,
you were the
you know what I'm
middleman.
saying? I had a few beats and but yeah, shout out to my boy Jay Sheen, man. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Shout out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we give it up when we get out of the show. It costs nothing to be good to someone. Be good to someone today. I'm Rob Fields. He's FreePour Donnie. And we're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.